Welcome back to Pullman High School for the GSL matchup between visiting Shadle Park Highlanders and your Pullman Greyhounds. Pullman Greyhounds currently sit at 4-2 in GSL play, while the Shadle Park Highlanders sit at 3-3. I'm Matthew Verdi going alongside Blake Dobbins.
Yeah, Matthew, both of these teams neck and neck in GSL play also struggled out of league play, both having only one win outside of league play, although performing relatively well. Hounds, yeah, like you said, sitting at 4-2 with the Highlanders at 3-3. This should look to be a good game. Both these teams very similar in terms of their records, at least on paper. And both these teams will be fighting for that second slot in the GSL behind the behemoth that is Clarkston, undefeated 17-0 team at top. The GSL, who are looking to make a state run, but both these teams still in the hunt for a state appearance through the league. And they're trying to both get the best seeding they can in order to have as good of a chance as they can to make it a state here. Both these teams definitely in that conversation.
I believe that Clarkston team is a very tough team. None of these teams, actually no team in the GSL will probably be able to catch up to them.
Yeah, both of these teams already matched up against that Clarkston team. Both of them had similar experiences, not really being able to compete with the caliber. Clarkston being a very scrappy team, so they should be pretty well matched up here in this game. We'll see how this game ends up turning out down the stretch. But the tip-off comes from the official, and the Hounds look to have it, and they do secure it. Clark will be the first one to get her hands on the ball. Hounds had a little bit of trouble offensively. One of their weaknesses has been the press, the full court press. We'll see if the Highlanders have done their homework and look to implement it, and if so, how the Hounds are able to react. But right now, ball goes out of bounds, and the Hounds will maintain possession with the full shot clock. Bednar able to get up a quick shot. Arm gets kind of deflected. This time foul is called. Armstrong able to get the rebound, but she's instantly fouled right away.
Yeah, she'll go to the line and shoot too. Look at who the first points of this game.
That's Jan picking up the foul there, number 5.
First shot's a little short. Won't fall.
Hounds definitely a much taller team. Picard, the tallest player on the Highlanders, sitting at 5'10". Meanwhile, 3 of the Hounds players stand at 6 foot. We'll see if that comes into play, and if the Hound centers are able to make a big impact in this game. Shot from Thompson is no good. Kind of a wide way up, a little bit of a, not really much of an opportunity there to go off of, but took the shot anyway, and it will be Hounds ball, now up 1. Trying to get an early lead to start this game and show why they have the better record in league play. Shot from Armstrong, no good, but another second effort. And that extra height is already coming in handy here. A lot of offensive rebounds so far for the Hounds. Highlanders haven't been able to secure a defensive rebound so far. Meanwhile, Hounds already have multiple on both possessions. Open 3 here. Goes off the backboard, but eventually rims out. Harrington with the shot there. Highlanders are going to have to look to some production beyond the arc if this early trend that we're already seeing in these first couple of possessions continues, where the Hounds dominate in the paint. Ball is passed all the way down court. Figure ends up getting surrounded, eventually comes out to Jan, and her shot is not really near, to kind of far right.
Yeah, the Hounds are playing some pretty strong defense so far. Not be able to put up any points.
Yeah, Highlanders haven't been able to take advantage of a couple open looks from 3. And the Hounds have done a good job rebounding, not giving any second chances. It's going to be obviously a big trend just from what we've seen in this first couple of minutes. Although Highlanders looking quite scrappy, ball almost comes away from Cooley, but she's eventually able to dump it off, and it ends up in the hands of Armstrong, who's able to finish. And points in the paint have already been the story of this game. Hounds are having it quite easily, and it's going to force the Highlanders to take a timeout, possibly regroup, as this has been one of their weaknesses so far in this game.
The Hounds defense is looking pretty impressive so far, as they haven't really let any open shot or anything.
Yeah, that's obviously been the main story so far in this game, as we've seen, is just the Hounds dominating the paint, getting those offensive rebounds that are going to allow to more and more points. And it's kind of hard to have a stout defense if you're giving the other team so many opportunities, and that's what the Hounds have had so far, and it's led them to already take this early lead to 5-0. And have no signs of stopping. We'll see if the Highlanders have been able to regroup. As we see the Hounds line up for a press, all 5 players playing tight man. See if this comes back to bite the Hounds or if they're able to defend. But the Highlanders have an opportunity here. Fager running and eventually gets fouled. Clark able to catch up to her, but draws a foul. Clark we're always watching to see if she'll get into foul trouble.
She's a very aggressive player. She's somebody to look for and to be there to stop fast breaks.
Highlanders have an opportunity to get their first points of the game, and the first one will drop. And Fager will put the Highlanders on the board. Now down 5-1. See if she can convert on both, and she does. Both shot screen from the line. Clark needs to be conscious of her fouls. She's one of the more potent offensive players on this team, but is often limited in her minutes because of getting in foul trouble. Needs to shape up and avoid a lot of those fouls. Highlanders pick up a foul of their own. Hounds will end up with the ball on the inbound. Ball goes out at the perimeter to Cooley. She gives a nice pass to Benner. She's not able to finish in another second effort. Armstrong gets her second bucket in a row for the Hounds. And 3 second efforts have led to 3 easy shots for the Hounds. Highlanders have shown no ability to rebound on the defensive side of the ball.
Ball poked loose. Ball will stay with the Highlanders.
Hounds, meanwhile, having a much more stout defense and not really allowing any second chances for the Highlanders here. Quick shot goes off by Thompson. That's her second shot from the field, and neither have gone. Foul is called, and it looks like it's going to be on Clark again. Yeah, getting a little aggressive on the reach, and she has to be more conscious. She's already up to 2 fouls with under 3 minutes already expired in this game, and she's looking to have very few minutes, especially if she draws one more foul. And she needs to kind of shy away from that aggressive play style that we've seen from her so far this season.
Yeah, sometimes you see the aggressive play style pay off as it results in some points, but other times it lead to some fouls.
Multiple Highlander drives, not going for much here. Eventually dumping off the ball. Ball ends up in the hands of Fager. She's not able to finish. Her shot's just long. Thompson dumps it off to Jan, and her shot does go. That's the first shot from beyond the arc for either team. So far in this game. After that timeout, looks like they were able to get together more of a game plan, having kind of just driving and drawing Hound defenders away from the people on the perimeter and getting those outside looks seems to be what the Highlanders are going with so far after that timeout. Ball comes into Fager. She gets instantly trapped by 3 defenders. Clark able to quickly close out. Needs to be careful here not to draw any foul. Ball comes straight to Bednar. Pass along the baseline, and the Hounds look to have it in transition. Clark tries to fake pass, but ends up in her falling on the ball and giving it away back to the Highlanders. So they'll have a chance to tie up this game or possibly take the lead. Jan dribbling, pops it out to Fager in the corner. Eventually ends up with Jan in the paint, kind of fumbles with the ball, but Hounds defender doesn't follow her, and she's able to finish a nice little short mid-ranger, has an open shot and is able to finish, and the Highlanders are back tied in this game, originally down 5-0 now on a 7-2 run in the second quarter of this first quarter here. Just under 4 minutes left now. Clark having a little trouble, eventually does dump it off to Cooley. Bednar can't get the finish, and the Highlanders do eventually come down with the rebound. If the Hounds aren't going to be able to finish on that first shot, Highlanders are going to have a much better time on defense, and they have so far already, limiting them the Hounds to just 2 in the past couple minutes. Shot is deflected and bounces off the backboard. And second effort doesn't really reach the rims. The Hounds will have it in this tie game right now. Cooley drives, decides to dump it off to Bednar. She can finish this time. Last possession ended up a missed shot. This time, not the same. Bednar gets her second bucket of the game. Thompson will have a chance to answer. High arcing shot doesn't go.
Yeah, the Hounds need to continue this momentum for the last drive and score here.
Clark again with a fast break opportunity, and no shot is called, and it looks like a foul is called on the ground. Clark had a nice move to get past Thompson, but instead foul is called on the ground. She will not even get to shoot. Instead, the Hounds will take it from the inbound. Their third inbound off of fouls so far in this game. Shadle sitting at 3 fouls, none of them leading to free throws, however. And a travel is going to be called on Clark. She just slips away too far from her pivot foot and lifts it up, and she gets called for the travel.
Yeah, that is not what the Hounds wanted to see there, so they were looking to continue their momentum and score again, which didn't happen.
Yeah, Hounds haven't looked as confident after that timeout from the Highlanders, kind of losing momentum. We've seen them as a very hot and cold team. Going to need to get that momentum back and keep fighting for those boards, as that's what's going to get them ahead in this game.
But the story all year for this team has been hot, cold, from timeouts to timeouts.
Harris has an open shot and decides to give it to Bednar. She can't put the shot in.
Push foul called on Sophie Armstrong. Her first foul of the game.
She looks confused on the call, but it will be Highlander ball.
Yeah, she definitely did push off.
No press from the Hounds, only had it off that one inbound, not looking for the same. Clark has the opportunity to steal. Ball falls in and out of her hands, eventually ends up in the hands of Picard. She's able to swing it out to Jean. Jan gets it to Thompson, who takes a shot from the free throw line, and that rims out. Shot from beyond the arc from Faker doesn't go, and Hounds need to do a better job of rebounding, able to get it after that second shot. But Highlanders is having a lot more opportunities. We've seen multiple possessions in a row, getting multiple shots. Ball almost stolen by Faker there. Cooley takes a deep three, doesn't really land near the hoop.
Yeah, not the shot that Cooley wanted to shoot there. She was pretty far from the hoop.
Yeah, kind of just saw a little bit of separation, decided to take a shot, didn't quite work out.
Another foul is called on Clark. Her third foul of the game, only the first quarter.
And it's going to be likely we're not going to see her for a while checking back into this game. A little over 1 minute left in the first quarter, and she's already up to 3 fouls. We've seen her get into foul trouble time and time again. This time, one of the most extreme cases. She has to get pulled out with 3 fouls, and not even the first quarter has elapsed. Whitworth checks in for her. And
she's able to break free from her defender.
Yeah, another high arcing shot. She's able to put up a quick floater right outside of the block, and it works out. Highlanders tie this game right back up 9-9. And Bednar answers back. She's been the leading scorer so far in this game. She has 6 of 11 points. All the points split between her and Sophie Armstrong, and mostly in the paint. Fager for 3, no good. She's had multiple opportunities from beyond the arc, and none of them have gone. Thompson gets it to Fager again. She'll look to drive. Instead, goes around on the baseline, swings it cross court, Thompson and Figure sharing the ball in this possession, both of them missing from beyond the arc, and the Hounds will have it back with the ball with just 1 second to go, and a block is called. A little bit unfortunate there, as the Hounds are going to have a lot more momentum.
And now the Hounds, all I got to do is just catch and shoot. Not much time to do anything else.
Yeah, a lot of these Highlander fouls kind of working out in their favor. A couple shots that went in instead changed to inbounds, and then now there's only 1 second left on the shot clock. Could have happened, but instead they will just go to the benches, and the second will start at the scoring of 9-11. Hounds up by 2.
Yeah, the Hounds came out of the game looking pretty strong offensively, but kind of fell apart and then got back together.
Yeah, both these teams kind of stifling, not much offensive performance from either of these teams. Kind of a slow game. Slow start for both these teams. Have had slow starts. This is definitely not their slowest. Started that game against Rogers at a 4-4 scoreline. This time getting up to 11, having a good start. And they just really need to get back to rebounding is what they need to do here. Had a lot of rebounds and second opportunities, mostly at the hands of Armstrong and Bednar. And if they can get back to that, that's probably going to be the way they're going to be able to extend this lead on the Shadle Park side of the ball. They just need to finish more opportunities. A couple shots from beyond the arc left with some to be desired, especially by Fager, one of the team leaders so far in this game. Didn't check out that entire first quarter, but missed a couple shots there from beyond the arc. Fager not present for the Highlanders coming into the second quarter. Instead, Shay Krotzer checks in for her, see if she can replace that offensive performance. Ball swung to Whitworth at the top of the key. She brings the ball to her left, but eventually gets it taken away. And despite going out of bounds, Highlanders will keep it. Hounds going to that press again, not to much effect. Whitworth playing tight defense on her defender. Jan eventually able to swing it out. Thompson looking to drive, gets it to Jan in the corner, who has time but isn't able to make a shot. Instead, drives to the basket, and she's able to get a layup to go.
She made a nice maneuver there to get past 2 of her defenders. Gets the rim.
Moves towards the baseline on the right side. Armstrong doesn't do a great job sealing it off, and Jan's able to take advantage and tie this game right back up at 11s. Harris kind of puts up a moving shot, doesn't quite go in. Thompson driving, trying to get past Whitworth, puts up a shot and eventually gets fouled, and the shot will drop. Really good finish, able to put up a shot pretty far outside. That's the second layup we've seen from her. Kind of away from the basket. Both of them have finished, and this time she will get an and one. And Shadle will take their first lead of the game. Up 13-11 here, looking to extend that lead to 3 as Armstrong checks out of the game, along with Picard for the Highlanders. Thompson's shot bounces around but does fall. Maya Burnett checking into the game for the first time. For the Highlanders, Harris driving to the right side of the court. Pass is intercepted. We've seen Harris had a lot of trouble with getting those passes to her teammates, making long passes, sometimes get intercepted, and we see it there. Harrington taking good advantage. Jan pops it out to Harrington. Ball ends up in the hands of Burnett. She can't put up a shot, or can't finish from the corner there. Harris gets it to Sykes, and she's able to make a tough finish. Sykes had a couple good games in the recent past. Had that season high against Rogers, where she really made a big impact on this team.
She's a pretty good finisher in the paint.
Yeah, able to get those tough finishes through multiple defenders, and that's what makes her valuable in that inner position. She's in the game with Bednar right now. Bednar playing a little bit of a high post position, drops down, and Sykes not quite able to get the rebound. Instead, able to get a jump ball called right as she lost possession, but it will go to the Highlanders. Hounds intermittently pressing for the third time this game, but not really applying much pressure as Burnett's able to get down the court relatively easily here. Passes it through a couple defenders there. Really good pass from Burnett to Jan, and she's able to do a good job. Jan having a couple tough finishes so far. Ball goes to Bednar. She dumps it off to Sykes, and that'll be her second basket of the game. She quickly gets up to 4.
Sykes again making sure her presence is felt on the offensive side.
Yeah, as the season has gone on, she's gotten more and more consistent.
That shot slightly off.
Ball ends up in the hands of the Hounds. Hounds putting together a little more offensive productivity, still trailing by 1 to the Highlanders. Whitworth looks to drive, doesn't put the ball down fast enough, and gets called with the travel. And the Highlanders have it again. Hounds have already had a couple of travels and a lot of kind of silly mistakes, couple turnovers and travels that are really keeping them from being in control of this game. Instead, down 1 against this Highlanders team that really hasn't had great overall offensive production. They've just been able to take advantage of the mistakes that the Hounds have made. Shot doesn't fall for Thompson. Burnett able to get the rebound, sitting at 5 foot, but her pass doesn't get to go off as she stepped out of bounds quickly after that rebound. Sorry, Highlanders will keep possession.
Kind of confusing turn of events.
Yeah, Tom's shot doesn't really bear. Ball eventually rebounded off the deflection by Plaster.
And now the Hounds will finally take back possession.
Yeah, interesting thought that Burnett stepped out. Looks like the call was a little bit different. Referee was signaling to the sideline. Cooey gets it to Harris, again drives to her right side, pass deflected. And a foul is called.
They really fouled her pretty hard.
And Cooey picks up her second of the game. Has yet to add to the score so far. Hounds at 15 right now. Halfway through the second quarter, Cooey maybe having an opportunity here. Sits on the right wing. Eventually gets it to Bednar, who gets past her defenders. Both defenders kind of overcommit there, and Bednar punishes them, able to get right past and put up a nice short mid-ranger.
A great find by Cooley to be able to find her open.
Hounds were able to get back in the driver's seat of this game. Now up by 1. Pass not really going to anyone by Fager, but ends up resulting in a shot. Shot doesn't fall, and the Hounds will take it right back. Cooey again on the right wing, same position she was last time. This time swings it to Harris farther on the perimeter, who gets it to Bednar. She gets an open look, but can't quite put it in from the elbow.
Yeah, all Bednar shots are looking pretty short so far.
Bednar able to secure the ball from Picard. A lot of these Highlander possessions ending pretty quickly here recently.
Fast break opportunity here.
Burnett looking to make a move, instead kind of fumbles with the ball. Pass to Fager, goes behind her ankle, but she's able to eventually recover it. Thompson puts up a shot. Hounds haven't done a great job of collecting these loose balls that the Highlanders have gave them.
Yeah, Hounds did a good job there to be able to limit the fast break and stop them from scoring.
Couple faces check in for the Highlanders. Jan, the leading scorer, back in the game after a quick break. Sykes gets the ball swatted away by Fager. She takes an aggressive angle, and it results in a fast break. Nobody able to catch her, and she puts the Highlanders back ahead by 1. Hounds and Highlanders consistently trading leads here. As the ball bounces out of bounds, the Highlanders will have the possession up by 1. Coach Barber calls a timeout for her team.
The Hounds need this timeout. They need to figure out how they can score.
Yeah, Hounds have had a little bit of trouble here. Both these offenses seeming kind of slow. Combined 35 points so far in this first half. But the Hounds need to get back to what they were doing and kind of assert their presence. Have kind of been letting the Highlanders take advantage of a couple of mistakes. And when the Highlanders do make mistakes, the Hounds haven't been able to take full advantage. And that's kind of what's been the difference so far and what's allowed the Highlanders to stay in this game. Coach Barber trying to explain to her team how they can get back ahead before we go to the second half of play. Around 2.5 minutes left here in the second quarter. And the Hounds will look to press again. Hounds haven't had much success in their press, sitting Sykes as the last player deep, but they end up breaking up after a couple passes. Don't really continue to apply pressure.
We haven't seen the pressure work for the Hounds at all this year.
Fager able to dribble to her left, puts up a shot, and it banks in. Shot was wide right, but it ends up working out for Fager as she gets her first shot from beyond the arc and extends the lead to 4. Shot, or pass deflected there. Thompson able to get the rebound, but ball is knocked out of bounds. Multiple turnovers has been the story again.
And we see Clark check in, but she is in foul trouble.
Yeah, if Clark was to pick up her 4th foul, minutes to go here, she would essentially be out for the rest of the game, which she would be dearly missed. Cooley able to have a fast break opportunity, and she will get called for a foul.
Cooley hits the line.
She'll have a chance to contribute her first points to the game. And she does get her first. Cooley, another source of offensive production that we haven't seen so far in this game a ton, as she gets her second. Looking to see more from her in the second half, and looking to see Barber's offense kind of create more looks for Cooley going down the stretch here, as we know that she has great potential from beyond the arc and in the paint.
Yeah, we've seen a pass game, what she can't do.
Fager has another shot beyond the arc and gets it. That's her second in a row from beyond the arc. She's finally catching on, taking a large majority of the shots for this team, and it's finally starting to pay off. And Shadle extends their lead to the largest it's been so far this game, up to 5. Harris getting trapped by 2, able to pivot through both of them. Cooley has an open look from 3 and just rims out really close. Clark driving in and able to get an open look on a left-handed layup, but not quite able to get the height. Bounces off the rim before it can get to the backboard. And the Hounds will come up empty-handed after having a couple opportunities there. And Shadle Park's most likely looking to take the lead going into the half here. Highlanders doing a good job of managing time, not going to allow the Hounds to most likely have more than one possession. Travel is called on Thompson.
32 seconds remaining in the half. 2.3 seconds separate the game clock and the shot clock.
Hounds most likely going to have one more opportunity to cut the lead as thin as they can. Clark passes it. Thompson able to get it, kind of ill-advised pass there as it went right into the hands of Thompson. And she's not really looking down court, instead passes it to Harris. And it doesn't really work out. Shot from Figure does go. That puts her up to 11 points. She leads this team now, surpassing Jan at 9. But these two players have combined for 20 of 25 points, and they've both been huge on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Figure having quite a few steals, and the Hounds, and taking advantage of the Hounds being a little sloppy with their passing, especially before they've been able to get down the court. Able to get down the court this time. Cooley strive doesn't quite work out. Sykes able to get a rebound, able to get 2 rebounds, and her third shot of the possession goes in just right before the half. And that will cut the Highlanders' lead down to just 5. Hounds able to hold on to that 5-point deficit going to the half, 21-26. Highlanders got the best of the Hounds in the second quarter and turned the tides. We'll see you in the second half.